Begin Within Ministries proudly presents Sofa Sundays with your hosts, Reverend Dr. Michelle Izukwu and Reverend Jeannie Sovereigns. Sundays at 11:11 a.m. Arizona time and rebroadcasts on Mondays at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Come join us on the sofa every Sunday morning. Sofa Sundays with Michelle and Jeannie. Learn more at www.beginwithinministries.com. In partnership with New Thought Media Network.
I'm not looking to make it so that.
Good morning.
Good morning. Happy Sofa Sunday
Experience.
Woohoo! There you
She doesn't
go.
want to call it service, so we're calling it experience.
Experience celebration.
Sundays morning celebration time.
Yeah. There you go.
Or talk show time.
I like
It's we're like a talk
experience.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah, experience.
We
We
have
have a lot of people in the house.
We do.
I wonder if it has something to do with yoga and nidra coming up after
It
service
might.
today. Or it could be that they all want to have lunch with us after
That could be,
because
too.
it is Minister Lunch Day.
Right.
today.
Minister Lunch Day. I like that.
Minister Lunch Sunday.
Minister Lunch Sunday.
Yeah.
MLS.
MLS.
There you go.
Yes, you can
So-
hang out with your ministers while we stuff our faces because I will be doing that.
There you go.
We're going.
So just in case you want to join us for any of it, we are located at, where are we?
7220.
Oh my goodness!
16th Street. She's surprised that I know. North 16th Street, building 1A, like Jeannie says, not the steak sauce.
Oh, that would be A1.
A1.
There you go.
A1. I try. See, I'm not supposed to.
You're almost good.
That's why you do it.
But what's the zip? Come on.
85018.
20.
20.
Close. You're close. But I'm impressed. Yay, Michelle!
Thank you.
So we are at the Unleash Your Life studios of Reverend Dr. Michelle Whittington, who has her practice here, her life coaching, her best year yet.
Yes.
She also has individual as well as group meetings and sessions. So if you are interested in finding out more about her, please go to unleashyourlife.us. There we
Right.
go.
She's one of our biggest, probably our biggest supporter over
Yes.
all of these years. And so she doesn't ask us to say anything about that. Actually, she's pretty humble about that, but
Right.
we do it anyway because we want you all to know what she offers here. So definitely check out her website at unleashyourlife.us. There's so much going on. So
Right.
much for all
And
of us.
and
Life-changing stuff.
I'll also give a plug for another celebration service on Wednesday nights at Unity of Phoenix. She is speaking next Wednesday or this Wednesday coming up. She
This
spoke
Wednesday
last
coming
Wednesday.
up, okay.
She's speaking this Wednesday coming up. So a lot of us show up there as well. So if you'd like to join us on Wednesday night, come
That'd
on
be
out.
fun. I
Yeah.
know. So anyway, this is where we're located. So if you do want to get over here quickly, if you're local, you want to come and join us at service, you haven't missed it yet. So get your butts over here. And also, right after service, we're having our yoga nidra session with Amy. Thank you so much, Amy, for
Thank you, Amy.
sharing one of your spiritual gifts.
And if you've never heard of Yoga Nidra,
Oh yeah, it's not.
Google it.
You can do it.
It's a type of
So
meditative
yummy.
yoga that is led with intention as well as breath. And it is something that will help relax you. And I don't know about you, but I need more relaxation in this time period that we are in.
Right.
So
And I always feel like that to do yoga, like if you have a regular Monday through Friday week or, the week long, doing something like this on a Sunday really resets you for the upcoming week. And I feel like that kind of a practice is so important. So I'm so grateful that she's offering it right after service today.
yes.
And so we'll just set the tone for the week, which is lovely. And then afterwards, we'll just go
Yeah.
eat some yummy food.
There you
and
go.
have great conversation. So there's 3 things you could do over here today. So head on
There
over.
you go.
Hurry up.
Head on over.
Those of you that are here, thanks for being here. I'm super excited to spend this time with
Yes. So I'd like to pray us
you.
in.
Yes, I could feel it.
You can feel it.
I could feel the way she was like, Okay, here we go.
So if you're comfortable, just close your eyes and listen to this tone, knowing that as this frequency is here with us, that we are one with it. That there is only one life, one grand design, one true spiritual purpose that is the pattern of perfection. That is the divine order of it all. That is God. That is source energy. That is universal life force. That is us. Who we are, what we're made of, that divine spark inside. And for this, I am so grateful. So I speak my word into the law for the highest and best good of this time together, knowing that as we are here in unity, as individuations of God, that there is only one present. And that as this unfolds, each of us is healed, stories revealed, as we are mirroring the divine in all ways, always. I send blessings to leaders and teachers of all faiths, all cities, all states, all countries, everywhere, knowing that since there is only one, this one is operating in, through, and as each. And that the divine life energy that brings joy and peace and wisdom and love is all present. And for this, I am grateful. I say thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you, life. Thank you, universe, for this time, for these blessings, and for this knowing. So I let it go. I call it good. And together we say, and so it is. Woo! Yay! Woo! Just prayed heavy right on it.
I know, that's how we do it.
That's how we do it.
That's how
around
we do it here at Sofa Sundays. We're not messing around.
That's right. Oh, man. So we have, look, I was looking at yours. So for those of you in the room, you have your little card. And I don't know, but I'm going to get up and show them again. Because you online might not have seen our new cards. Look at our new cards. Woohoo! See my pink hair and the little Begin Within Ministries logo. Okay. So there you go. And today's card is, my relationships are mirrors of my divine nature.
Say it again, loud for the people in the back.
Did you not hear me? My relationships are mirrors of my divine nature.
And I am blessed.
Amen.
There you go.
That's what I'm talking about right now.
Right? So for those who are partners and in the room, they have their little journals. And so you get to cheat, right? In the beginning, you can wake up and go, I wonder what Sofa Sundays is about today. Because normally you had to wait until you got here. But now you can go, do I even want to go? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and we can't cheat anymore either. Just make it up.
and just make it up when we didn't have cards. But now we have cards for the whole year.
I know. We're so efficient.
It's,
We're
yeah.
efficient.
You start to learn things, right? Like you learn as you go along, and we definitely have learned more.
And that's why they say, so this is a little off topic, but that's why they say if you want to do something, just start.
Right.
Don't wait for it to get perfect. It's not going to be perfect until you start, because you haven't done it before. So, I know people feel like, well, I haven't done it before, so I need to learn it. Like, no, if you start, you will get all the things, and you'll figure out what I like and what I don't like, and how when I said it like that really worked for me. I'm going to say it like that every time. And when it starts to develop itself with you.
Just in case you don't know, Michelle is a business consultant. As you can tell, as she's this is free that she just gave me. She charges people for this. So,
But it is so important to just start. So if there's something that you're thinking about today that you would love to do, that you wish you could be doing or whatever, stop doing that. Stop wishing and wanting and thinking about it and reading about it and learning about it. Just go do it. Just take one step every day in it. And it's amazing how God works.
On what you can do.
God creates it with you in the moment. it's not going to be created in the past and in the future. That's not where it gets
Right.
created. That's created in the present moment while you're doing it. So
I wish I had
that's
known you were going to say that, because then I would have looked up that quote. You know which one I'm talking about,
what-
where you take a step and providence moves, the universe moves
Oh,
towards you.
It does.
Yes.
But there's no better way to prove that than by just in one thing, just do that. Just take the step, and then almost like a game, just see, and you'll start to see how it all evolves. The stuff that you were trying to figure out ahead of time, the driving yourself crazy, worrying about, is this good enough? What are people going to, all these other things that come up and block your movement. The moment you start taking the movement, all that stuff just starts to fall in place. And it's so amazing how it starts to show up like, oh, I see. So you do it like this. Oh, I see. And then, yeah, the universe just starts putting people in your path. Oh, isn't it funny how that reel just happened to pop up on my feed and tell me the thing I was just now wondering how to do? Like,
Right.
that's because you moved.
Well, I like how you said, well, so we'll make it go around to our topic.
I know we
We
always these
do,
things,
yeah.
but this is why we're not scripted, because I never know why, and you never
Right.
know why stuff comes through us. Have you ever been like that? You're talking to somebody and all of a sudden this stuff comes through. You're like, I don't even know what I said. I don't know what happened, but
Right.
obviously that was for you. You know? So like that's why we didn't script this, because we wanted the natural.
Exactly.
And
to
I know
what
it's
comes
on this
through.
topic, so for somebody this is on its topic. So bring it around.
Well,
what
you were
thinking?
talking about, bringing the people into our lives in,
Oh yes,
and it's so
yes.
there. My relationships are mirrors of my divine nature.
Look at how good she is.
I'm telling you, some days.
See, this is from 3 years of doing it.
Right.
It just naturally moves.
Well, when you think about that, right, and the people that you surround yourself with, and the people that you accidentally meet,
Isn't that
right?
That's never.
That-
I'm sorry.
that's what brings that around, because when I'm thinking, I want to do blah, blah, blah. And so let me just give you a life experience that I recently had. I would like to write a transformational book about my life. I've had a lot of health challenging experiences that, for me, my health challenges created my spiritual path. And I would like to write that. But I have been feeling very flat, like real no creativity or inspiration. So I went to a very experience type,
Experiential.
that's the word,
It's a good
event last night. Went
What?
fire walking.
what
Yeah.
event could that be,
Yes.
Jeannie? Oh my
When
goodness.
Dakota and I
This
went
chick right here.
fire walking, and Laura, who is Om3 Yoga, and she does this event. And last year, Dakota and I went, and this year I was like, it was so empowering last year. There was something last year that I wanted to do. I wanted to get out and speak at churches as a minister, because I had not done that yet. And so I spent the first part of the year preparing to do that, and then the last part of the year doing it.
Yeah.
And there were, but I really felt empowered, and that was my intention going in last year. This year I brought the book idea in, as well as Soulfire Vibe, our business, and going into it with that intention and seeing what was going to come up. And then the card that she laid out, was about stop believing the lies about yourself and write the story. And so I was like, oh, well, thank you, because it was either about dropping it and letting it go, or, basically get off the fence, do something, like you were saying, move with it.
Yes.
So that's where I see how relationships and experiences will help reflect our divine nature and what we want to do.
I totally agree with that, because like, for example, and the more you get to practice this, the better you get seeing it as it's coming around. But like, have you ever, when you watch movies, that every word, every piece of furniture, well, it's none of that's just by chance. They do all that on purpose. Like the classic movie, what was it called? It was The Graduate, the one with
Dustin Hoffman.
yes, what was that called? Was it The Graduate? Did you know that background scene, if you go look at it now and you look at the home that the woman lives in, right? All of her walls and her pillows are like cheetah print or safari print or whatever, because she's a cougar, right? She's this, so it's like all, like it was so.
Mrs. Robinson?
I know, right? So it wasn't like they did that for no reason. Oh, I just like this or like that. They were setting like subliminally this stuff on purpose. And so as you move through life and you do things in life, I start to think to myself, that wasn't like nothing's on accident.
Right.
If you think of your life this way, right? Everything that's around you, that moment that you have to help somebody, or the thing that comes across the feed. So now I look at things like, what was that about? Was that for me? Okay, like I believe all things are working for my good, supporting my goals and my dreams, and so I don't take most things by chance anymore, because I'm starting to see how even the weird little things. Oh, that's on purpose too. Because if that's on purpose, then that has to be on purpose. I don't. It's not this isn't and that isn't. It all is. God's using all of it to support whatever it is
that you're looking to bring forward.
So even the negative, what we would call negative, what we would call good, it's all on purpose. So yeah, I think that's a very interesting way to look at life. Like especially the people that come across your path. So
right.
It's not. I'm
especially
sorry.
people that come
random.
People that come across your path that annoy you.
Yes.
So
especially those ones.
Well, what I want to say about that, because there was a good lesson last night, as we were learning about fire walking, like there's a whole preparation. This is a 3-hour process, right? To get you physically ready to remind yourself that you are breaking that commitment that, you're taught as a kid. Ooch, ouch, fire's hot. Right? Don't touch, to break that commitment and break open being available to something different. With that, also know your no. Know if something is for you or is not for you. So knowing your boundaries and bringing that, she was very clear on that. She's like, everybody could walk across fire tonight or nobody could. That, and I've heard other people who have walked on fire, like Reverend Michelle talks about that. I think Reverend Bill Marcioni talks about that being in the awareness that this might be a no for you and pay attention to that. So
because you will get burned if you
exactly
walk on a no.
Yeah. Just because
it will be hot.
Right.
It will be all the things it's not supposed to be. But if you walk on the yes, if you get the hit, like that you're supposed to go,
it's your thing. And that's with anything in life, I think.
Right,
like we're saying.
Right.
Yes, I do believe that everything is brought to me that I experience in my life for me. And it is mine to know if this is mine to do or not. Like there are time periods that we are in toxic situations and we say, yes, because here's where I am. No. Right? It comes up so that we know, is this my yes or is this my no? Teaching us to rely on our own discernment, our inner wisdom, our inner strength, So I think I wanted to make that clear that just because something comes to you doesn't mean you have to say yes to it.
Right.
I do believe it's there for you to learn that. That was another thing that Laura brought up last night, was how everything is for our growth and experience, and it is our inner wisdom to connect to and bring that back. And there was something else that I now feel like, because I remember when she said it. She quoted this friend of hers, this guru who's no longer, with us on this plane, who said, can you imagine if we yelled our prayers like we yell our grievances? What a difference the world would be.
I love that.
And so many people go into prayer silently.
Right.
And yet we'll tell the world what we think about something, So to I don't know why that came up for me right now, but just felt like the need to share that as well.
I love that. And I want to back up to where you said about if something's a yes for you, if you know it's a yes for you, if you know it's a no for you. I think everything's coming across your path on purpose.
Mhm.
And I think sometimes the no's just clarify
Yes.
if that's like you feel yourself and you say, what's my move here? What am I doing? And you're saying, well, I'm not doing that. Then that just clarifies, okay, then I'm still continuing this way. I'm heading north still. I'm not going to deviate and head northeast. I'm heading north. So when you do that, but what I really want to say this year for me specifically, and whoever needs this like I did, if it's a yes though, I say jump and move as fast as you can. Boldly, before any of that BS system can kick in and start saying all these things to you that have kept you back before. Jump fast, boldly, and with pure intention. Like everything, align everything you have with it. Your diet, how you sleep, who you talk to, like how you speak to yourself, and not like everything, just focus it all right there. You have so much power inside of you that you're wielding all over the place. And oftentimes unknowingly, just throwing it out there without any intention. It's just like, random. And instead, when you get the yes, like that's what I want to do. And maybe you are scared. Maybe you do feel like whatever. But if you were to aim all of that intentionally in the 8 areas of your life toward the yes, imagine the massive movement and the magnetism that you have toward the whatever it is you're trying to create or that you want to be experiencing in your life. You have so much power. And I think we don't always feel it or realize it because it's so diluted.
Right.
And it's never like just hone in and focus. And I also think we don't do that because it's kind of a little, even me talking about it, you can feel the fear of it.
And if
the massiveness of what we could, but then it's kind of like,
oh, that's a lot. Oh, I've never done that too. Right?
That's why I say boldly, man. You got to go fast because it does.
It was, I think it took me to my 50s before I realized that I could choose a life I'm living versus it happening by default.
Yes.
Now, I've been very blessed. A lot of default things worked out well.
Me too, right?
But now having that idea, that focus, when we talk about what Ernest Holmes said about like, as long as it harms no one, if you want it, it is yours to have, but that doesn't mean it's dropping from the sky. You're going to have to,
you have to move because where you are right now, hypothetically speaking, where you are is where this is.
Treat and move your feet.
Exactly.
Right. And if you want to be experiencing this, you have to move. Not necessarily walking, but you know what I'm saying? Like you have to.
Some of us like walking.
Yes, you have to boldly, and I just say with courage and boldly pull your tribe in and be like, here's where my fear is. Would you help me up? Help me go. Like everything you have, because that's where I'm at in what I'm doing right now in my own life. And I feel like, why haven't I moved this way before? It feels so, the scared part's gone. Like I'm over that part. I've moved past that part. That part was almost debilitating for several months. And I moved past that. And now I'm in the just bold moving, which is our divine nature.
Right.
That's who we are. And when you get in line with that, because we have for so long, and we live in a system that keeps us from moving like that. It keeps us, distracted and all our energy is going here and it's over here. And I'm worried about this and how I look and all over the place.
Right.
And the moment that we pull all that back to what you want to be creating and you're intentional, man, hold on.
Right.
Because you are powerful beyond measure, more than you could comprehend, more than the human experience can even, it holds.
Encompass, yeah.
So it feels a little scary to move like that, but you start to, that feeling of the scared part, that uncomfortable and that weird part starts to die down because you start to realize this is who I am. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. So I don't know. I feel like a lot of us are in that space, and we may need our tribe to really support us in moving, because it's a big thing, but that's where we're supposed to be. That's how we're supposed to be moving and creating and showing up in life. And then these relationships, we're saying this like an affirmation. This is an affirmation to say, because if you have relationships that maybe don't feel like they're mirroring a divine nature that you want, right? Why are you tolerating that? Why are you allowing that? Because you're not realizing your divine nature. You're not aligning with that. You're everywhere.
Right.
Once you start to focus and say, I'm doing this and everything aligns with my true nature, those types of things will fall off, and everything will mirror that. But it's just, I think you have to move fast.
You have to stop thinking
and boldly. Yeah, stop this.
Yeah.
This is honestly, all of that is just data. It's just data. You are a massive computer up here, and it's just data. It's every way it could go bad. I just want you to know every possible way it could go bad, what everybody's possibly could be thinking, what you did last time, and how that turned out, and then okay, thank you so much.
I'm so glad I have poor memory.
Oh my God, I
Are you glad?
Yes, but I have to say thank you for that. Thank you so much for caring about me and telling me all those things, and I'm moving anyway.
Right.
And I'm gonna go anyway. Because that's how what we're supposed to be doing. We're not supposed to be sitting here researching and studying and practicing. Like, we're not supposed to be in this spinning wheel. We're supposed to be moving forward.
And I will tell you,
evolving upward.
For me, learning how to do that was Dr. Michelle, Reverend Dr. Michelle Whittington, and her practices. That is what taught me, because every time you did it, I was like, go home,
feel it,
bring in my light globe,
well, how many times have you seen her do this?
Right, not be diffused.
Yeah.
Right, because that's what I would do. It's like, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. And I think I talked about this last week, how she sends out the matrix, right? And my first year I would write 8 areas, and I'd write 17 things, and I'd get 1 or 2 done. And then second year I got a little bit better. This year, I'm like, I was still writing everyone, but one of them is increase my health, right? So I went, drink water.
Oh man.
I can do that, right? Cut it down to the simple steps.
Yes.
That's what we do for here.
Yes.
When we meet, we're like, okay, we have these grand ideas, and
we have big goals, people.
We have huge goals.
Big.
We really do.
And rightly so. I'm a divine spirit.
What is it? Being hairy, audacious goals.
Ours
right?
are beyond that.
Yeah, huge, right? But in order to accomplish those things, we've got to take it down to the first step. The first, how do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time, right? You got to take it down to that first step
and enjoy our journey together, and not be like stressed. I think sometimes we can feel a little stressed.
Yes. Like
any business owner, anybody trying to do something, it is does look a little bit big and overwhelming.
Yeah, how are you going to get here?
Yeah.
From here.
Yeah.
Right? And sometimes it was just about moving the sofa.
That
from the back of the room to the front of the room.
That was a great idea.
That was an amazing idea.
Yeah. I don't know. That was your idea, wasn't it?
I have no idea.
Anyway, we're good.
I just told you I had a poor memory. I have no idea whose idea it was. I just know it was an idea that worked. Yeah.
It was a good idea. Whoever.
Yeah.
One of ours, I don't know.
It comes to those things. So here's my question. We are 2 months in to 2025.
2025,
2 months into 2025.
You got 10 months left now.
We spent the first in June. Look, I'm forwarding myself. In January, we talked about these 8 areas. We talked about doing what we're going to do this year.
Yeah.
And
in our manifest.
I'm looking in this room, and 3 of you are in my best year yet. So I know that you have some, ideas on where you're going.
4 of us.
4?
There's 3 of us plus you.
Oh, plus me. Oh, yeah. Okay. I said in mine. Look, I'm bad at math too. Bad memory, bad at math. So what I'm going to ask is, now that you're 2 months in, what have you seen move for you towards that goal? Where have you brought it? for your focus? How are you moving towards it? What's that first bite of the elephant or second bite? Where are you on the elephant? Are you still on the tail? There we go. Could you pass that over there? Thank you.
Is it on?
Yep. Well, my first month was a combination of, I started out really scary, and I stayed in the belief that things were going to turn out the way that they were supposed to. And this story's too long to really bring here, but just one step at a time as I continued to just trust and do what was next for me to do. And every time it showed up, like, okay, I need a sign would show up. I would go, okay, that's my sign. I'm going to trust it and follow it. And the end result is that within a couple of weeks, some major changes in my life that are going to make a huge difference in a positive way also will present some challenges. So it's the best of both worlds, because at the same time that I'm living in the gratitude that everything has worked out to this point, I also recognize that going forward, those challenges will be another thing that I will listen for the guidance. And as long as I stayed in that, I wasn't in any fear. But the minute that I would start, my brain would start calculating the things that could go wrong and get in there, then my energy would go down, my vibration would go down, and then a challenge would present itself. It's like, oh, okay, I just created that. But then I would deal with it the way that I was guided to. And it's been pretty phenomenal, and I've seen it spread out to some folks in my life as well. So it's like we're all manifesting together.
Yes.
And making things happen, and we don't have to do it alone.
Never.
And I'm listening. I guess the most important thing is I'm listening.
And I love when the challenge comes up, you went to your practice and you pulled yourself back through. And maybe that's what that challenge is just for. We have to have, in order to get the muscle stronger than the default of living in default, right? We have to have opportunities to use it. And to be like, oh no, I'm not going to follow you. I'm going to instead get back to present, and I'm going to ask what's my move here. So even the challenges are for you. Everything is for the goal. And I love how you just kept that attitude and look at what you're manifesting constantly. So I love that. And that's a great lesson.
Absolutely. And again, going into the divine nature.
Yesterday I don't know how it happened, but I thought, You Can Heal Your Life, Louise Hay, the movie, 3 a.m, watched it twice, and I went, oh yeah. It just totally sunk in. And that's my first step in being aware of how I communicate. You can never just describe something. You're actually creating it.
Yeah.
So what do I want to create? So really mindfulness and that awareness is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
There you
Awareness.
go.
Awareness is so huge. Yeah. Our awareness. Oh, Lyric, there's a, sorry, she's got coffee too. Oh, it's okay.
Sorry.
Lyric doing all the things.
Multitasking.
Lyric multitasking. Thank you, Lyric. Thank you.
Oh, I'm trying out a new thing, which is a lot of yeses in a row. I'm trying to rack up my yeses, because I heard about Abraham Hicks says the universe doesn't respond to no, it responds yes to whatever you're
Amen.
thinking.
That's true.
So I recognize, like you were talking about, when something is a no, and not getting in resistance to it, but going towards the things that are trying to rack up yeses in a row in the day.
I love that.
Yes, and the thought around that is when you're asking, when you're thinking about something or you're wanting something, to not say it in the negative, because law doesn't do the negative. It just says yes to whatever you're asking for. So that's why you have to be so careful with how you're
Stating
how you're
it.
thinking it and stating
Right.
it. You want to say it in the affirmation, the thing that you want. So if you want to lose, if I say I want to lose 25 pounds, that's not how I want to say that. I want to say I want to be whatever the weight it is that I want to affirm for myself. So there's the opposite. You want to say that the thing you want, not the thing you don't want. Yeah. So that's, yeah. because the laws trick you like that. Just says yes, just says keep saying yes. But it's really cool. You can teach kids that pretty quickly because all you have to do is say, do you really want the law to say yes to that?
There you go. Well, then going back to the whole like our grievances louder than our prayers, you know.
Come on, yeah.
Let's, up the prayer volume. And I love, going back to my relationships are mirrors of my divine nature. So I found my original book, not the one I bought. Right, this one has like words in it that I wrote.
The other one doesn't have words in
it? It has words, but not mine. So like I'm like, oh wow, I'm very, very like in training with spirit. That's pretty amazing, right? Like I'm like, okay. Anyhow, this is on page 90, and the following is a simple practice which may greatly benefit you, Ernest says. And it's several pages. But what I'm going to read to you is just one part here that talks about the law of spirit establishes harmony and right adjustment of all personal, family, and business affairs or conditions in my life. I am supplied with every good thing. I am happy, radiant, and complete. The source of all life manifests as peace, harmony, and wholeness in my experience. And I was like, yes.
Say yes to that.
Yes to that. I want that as my experience. So in order for that to be my experience, what am I feeding myself, right? And in order to feed myself, I don't operate in a vacuum. I live with someone and several little, entities.
Little babies.
Yes, several little entity
little
babies.
feline babies.
And some of them are positive and some of them are, like they're AC/DC. That's all I'm going to say. And, some of them are just not there. And, and I have a job and I go out in the community and, I have a tribe. So there are different energies at different time periods, depending on what I'm doing. And I have, as someone who is giving energy out in the world, different levels depending on how many cups of coffee I've had. Have I done my prayer and meditation that morning? Is the car working right? Have I done my PQ reps? Have I gone home? There are a lot of things that change my energy level, and I feel that we all have that opportunity there. So mirroring the divine nature, you were saying about if you have somebody in your world who that mirror is not of that. So my first question is why? Why am I having this experience right now? So is this, something I'm bringing, or is it something I have brought to them? You know what I mean? Like, are they bringing this to me or am I bringing it to them? So what is this connection there? Is it just the day? Is it just because it's Monday and we got a new email that said we got to do blah, 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 whatever, right? Or is this a consistent thing? A few years ago, I had a relationship, a friendship with someone who I think I complained more about this friendship than I complained about anything. Seriously. And I would be worn out every time I got off the phone. And I would see the phone ring and go, oh, jeez. You know what I mean? Like, right. And then you have to ask yourself, then why?
Yeah.
Why are you doing this? Why are you bringing this to you? This is your life and your decision. If this is happening, then get rid of it. And I did, and there is not any time period where that still doesn't feel like the right thing to do. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, okay, good. I feel good.
Yeah.
And so because you brought that up earlier, so, just be very aware of who you allow in your energy field, because, that can be, everybody has an off day. Right? We all have off days, right? Sure. But if this is a constant thing, then ask yourself, why am I doing this?
Yeah, and I think you can, when you're looking at the 8 areas of life, one of the areas is relationships. And so I think it would behoove everyone, especially since this is the topic for today, and we kind of look at relationships the month of February being the month of love, whatever. I know some people are like cringy.
Yeah.
But
Last year we avoided that
I know, we were like,
altogether.
oh,
we were
we're
like,
not
nope, we're not going to say it.
but when you're looking at that, what we always say here on the sofa is you have to begin within. So whatever you're experiencing, it's here first. I can't go change Amy, but I can change me. And if I have a relationship with Amy that it doesn't feel like my divine nature, I can choose to show up differently. And I don't have to tell Amy I'm doing anything. If I change how I'm showing up, the relationship has to change. And it can be no more having the relationship. Maybe I just decide I don't want to show up. Maybe I decide I do, like if it's a child, like I've shared my set and reset tool before, but I have a now almost 18-year-old in the house. But when he was 11, we were having a lot of problems. And I certainly it wasn't mirroring my divine nature. And I wasn't showing up as the mother I wanted to be. And every time we'd have these negative interactions, I felt awful afterwards because that's not the kind of mom. I want to be a calm, loving mom, not one that's yelling and angry and whatever. And it was in that moment that I recognized I needed to do something about that. I'm the mom. He's a child. This is my job. I wasn't thinking spiritually, but this is my job. Well, it's always our job because it's beginning within ourselves.
Right.
And so I changed myself, and that situation we kept coming to change, but it changed so profoundly that I got the tool is when you say to yourself, well, when I'm with so-and-so, so this son's name is Trey. So I made a set for myself. And I said, I put a set point and it said, when I'm with Trey, I'm a calm, loving mother. And I tell that to myself all the time. When I'm with Trey, I'm a calm, loving mother. When I'm with Trey, I'm a calm, loving mother. And I set that point in myself on purpose, intentionally. And the next time, and it happened a lot with us back then, we had a moment where we started arguing and having an issue. And I went down the normal behavior that I used to do, right? We started yelling. I'm running down the rabbit hole. He can trigger me. That boy can trigger me so fast. It's before you can think you're upset and yelling. And all of a sudden my mind goes, wait a minute. But with Trey, we're a calm and loving mother. I'm supposed to be, woo, hello, you have a set point. We're calm. Like I could feel that part of myself going, ooh, hey. And then that other part of me that's like the sarcastic, like, oh, really? Well, if you're such a calm and loving mother, what should I do now? Like I had this like part of me that was like, oh, all right. If I'm just such a calm and loving mother, then you tell me what my next move is. And in that second, like before, it was so fast, my mind or God, my spirit, whatever said, you would hug him. Have you ever wanted to hug someone you were in the middle of an argument with who was being disrespectful and rude? Have you ever thought to yourself, oh, I should just hug you right now? You're just so sweet. Let me just give you a big hug. Yeah, no, the ego part went, oh, yeah, right. If I hug him, what is that saying to him? That's saying he can continue to be disrespectful. Then I'm the weaker one. Then it went through all this stuff. But because I know what I know, that part of myself that knows said, no, you asked the question. That was the answer, and you have to move fast because all that other stuff was getting strong enough to where I wasn't going to do it. So I jumped literally at him, and he went like this.
Yeah, I would too. Right? We're having an argument, and you jump at me.
Yeah. And I've never hit like he was like whoa, and I grabbed him and I pulled him to me, and he instantly went limp in my arms. He collapsed in my arms, and his face was about right here when I did that. And I looked at him, and I can still remember it, his little face, like, what is happening? And I said to him, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to argue with you like this. And I said, we have got to figure this out. This is not the relationship I want. And it just was coming out of me because I was in the present moment, right? I wasn't thinking all these other BS thoughts. I was in the present with him. And so that I didn't have to think about what I was saying anymore. It was just coming out. And then he started crying, and he said, I know, Mom, I don't want to do this either. I just wanted the thing. And blah, blah, blah. And I said, I know. Can we just talk about it instead of doing this whole, I don't want to do this anymore. And it was done. It was beautiful. We had a big hug. It was done. But what I want to tell you guys is that the rest of the day, that boy came up and hugged me random times. I'm doing the dishes. He comes up behind me and hugs me. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. And then later on, he hugged me again. And like the third one in one day, I'm like, oh, this child needs hugs. The answer wasn't for this moment. The answer was, how can I be a calm and loving mother with him? The child wasn't getting enough physical attention from me, probably since the twins came on board, and I hadn't caught it. I hadn't recognized it. So we all of us who have been parents, you all know, what does a child do that doesn't get attention? They be bad. Because they'll take any attention they can get, even if it's negative. They'll do that just to, can you look my way for a minute? Do I have to break something or ruin something to get your attention?
That's why those cats are doing it.
That's it. They want your attention.
They're doing it because they're cats.
Actually, cats, that's a whole nother situation with
They're
cats.
just cats.
I thought it was soft.
Yes,
Sorry.
yes. But in these relationships, it begins with you. There's something in here. If you want that relationship, and you want it to reflect your divine nature, you have to start with you. And they don't even need to know what you're doing. Trey didn't even know what I was doing. He didn't know I asked the question. He didn't know why I was hugging him. He didn't know anything. But if you want to know, it begins inside.
Mm-hmm.
And
we
then
all
sometimes
have.
is that answer.
Right.
This relationship is not good for you. You need to let it go. And it's like, oh, okay. You have to trust whatever the answer is.
Mhm.
If the answer is you have to hug that person, that's like, oh man, you got it. It just, you already know.
Exactly.
You are
Again,
equipped.
inner wisdom. Your divine
Equipped, sorry.
nature is what is who you are, is
Yeah.
who you were born to be.
Mhm.
It is what happened before you had language, before you had any type of BS thrown at you. That is who you are. And when you are showing up in the world and what comes forward to you in your experience is that you feel it. You feel that connection. You feel that love. You feel that energy and you're receptive to it. And when it's not, then you feel that
Yeah.
that banging of heads and that,
Mhm.
you know, the contention that
Gnashing of
is
teeth.
gnashing of teeth, the contention that's louder than your prayer.
Yes.
You know the feeling. And like you said, and then you have said this before on many occasions, it only takes one person to change the relationship.
Right.
So whether that's your, you know, child, your spouse, your boss, your friend, it only takes one.
Yeah.
And you're the one who's showing up because this is your experience. Now, if they have an issue with you, that's their job. I'll go back to the let them theory. Then let them, right? That's their
They have to work on
experience.
themselves. You can't do
Yeah,
that.
you can't work for them,
And it really doesn't matter.
right? Well, they don't listen
It doesn't
anyway.
matter if they like you or it doesn't matter.
I've been trying to control people for
Right.
years.
But
They
what
don't
are you
pay
doing?
attention.
I know. What are you doing though? And what, you know, and then coming back to like speaking negativity over things too. Like, do you want to speak life over something or do you want to speak death over it?
Right.
I mean, what are you like? So think like you've got to. I would sit down today. Like if this is touching you and it's making sense to you, I would sit down and look at your relationships, write them all out, and decide: is my divine nature mirrored here? And if not, what am I going to do about it?
Mhm.
And make some intentions. You can even use the practice of when I'm with this person, I'm I'm this, or I show up like this. Set points within yourself. Change those to, you want them to mirror your divine nature. You want them to nurture that in you and help that muscle part of yourself grow
Yeah.
stronger, right? But I forget where I was.
And
going
use
with
it
that.
as an experiment then.
It's
pick
very
one.
fun. It's
Pick
very
one.
fun.
Use it as an
Yeah.
experiment and
See
see
what
what
you get out
happens.
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can say, wow, Sofa Sundays is amazing.
They know what
Or
you're
you can
talking
say,
about
I'm going to
sometimes.
change this channel. Whatever you want.
Speak life.
Speak life. Sofa Sundays is amazing. I got one there. Yeah. Thank you.
My whole next week is gonna be about that.
Oh, yes.
My sister's coming to visit. We have had a very challenging relationship all our lives. We've gone years without speaking. And I've found in the last couple of years that if I take the high road and don't allow her to trigger me, we get along just fine. She has broken out of her mold in a couple of ways recently and shared it with me. And shared that it was scary So I got the opportunity to acknowledge her for stepping out of her comfort zone. And I said, even coming out here for a trip, I said, but we're gonna have a blast. We're gonna revisit everything we did 43 years ago when you
Nice.
moved out here with me
Nice.
for the first time. And so my first thought when she said she was coming out was this trepidation about, oh my God, how's that gonna be? And I said to my roommate, she can be snarky, she can be passive aggressive, but she can also be hilarious and a lot of fun. So that's what I'm gonna focus on. So it's gonna be really interesting to see if I can stay in that high vibration, because if I do, we'll have an awesome week.
Right. Love that.
And
I love it.
I feel like I can do that.
We know you can.
Yep.
We,
I can
we're-
do that.
You can do that, and we
Yes.
support that. We support that. What we're talking about that. Oh man, where'd it go? It was in there. I lost it. Never mind.
Don't you hate when that happens?
I do, and that's why we write it down. But I moved my book so I could cross my legs, and yeah, that's what happens. Yeah, don't know. I don't know what it was. I think I do know what it was. So I had this when we were talking about how amazing Sofa Sundays is. So it's a little side note. So last night, I texted Michelle this too. Last night when we were at the fire walk, and there's this group of people, and we're all learning, and this is before anything happens. And Laura, who's the facilitator, says, well, Jeannie has a ministry online. Like, she was talking about positive vibration and bringing up our vibration. And she's like, well, Jeannie has a ministry called Sofa Sundays, and that's online, and you can watch it at any time. And I was like, I turned to Dakota, I was like, and I went chills down too. I was like, that was so cool. So thank you, Laura.
Thank you, Laura. Are we gonna put Laura's stuff in the?
Yeah, I can put in
here?
the thing there, because she
How
does.
often does she do the firewalks?
It's just she does them. The ones that I have seen have been at the end of the year and the beginning of the
Oh,
year.
okay.
She has different ones throughout the year, but she also is a yoga instructor as well. She has her own, business. So I'll put in Om 3 Yoga.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. I love
Yeah.
that. I love that she mentioned that. That was sweet.
I was like, and it was so unexpected. And then I was like,
Sofa.
I was all like giddy. I went to a get together Friday night, and so talk about your divine nature type of thing, and there was only one person there that I knew. Well, two. I came with one, and the person having the party, and that was it. And when I know people, I'm very extroverted, and when I don't, I run away. And yeah, because you all know me, so you didn't know that. But it had been a while since I had been in a place where I didn't know people, and I wasn't, there to be the speaker, right? So like when I go to a church and I'm speaking, I don't know these people, but they all know who I am,
Yeah,
right?
there it is.
So there. And so it was a very interesting experience it's been a long time to have a conversation and then introduce myself and ask people questions about them and listen and wow, I found that I have some work to do on being a more open person in public, because like it's easy to be up on stage. I can do that fine, right? And the performers in the room are saying, "Yeah," but like a one-on-one thing, that is so freaky to me. Like, yeah. So
I like that stuff, but
you like the one-on-one? Yeah. No, I'm like good.
I like all of it.
Yeah.
I like all of this stuff, but I can have my times where I need to be like, leave me alone. But I love all of that too.
Yeah, but it had been such a long time.
Yeah. Since you've been
So
in that
yeah, so I wasn't expecting that reaction. So
position. Interesting.
yeah, that was more the thing, I guess, was that I was expecting to know more people, and I wasn't expecting to have such a shy reaction. I know. Could you imagine me shy? But there's like that part of me.
The only time I'm shy in a group setting like that is if I don't want them to ask me to do something that I'm not prepared to do.
Mm.
Like if they said, or like if sometimes if they want me to pray out loud, sometimes if I'm nervous, I'm not comfortable to do that always,
Mhm.
or they'll want me to talk about something. Oh, Michelle, you know the blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh my God. Or or if you've ever been working with me on something, I don't know, I think maybe you have seen me do this and Michelle certainly has seen me do this. Like if I'm point blank asked a question that I'm not prepared to answer, you've got deer in a headlight. So I'll just sit there and I got nothing. Even though just talking to you naturally, I would have all kinds of stuff. But if you just ask me and I'm not expecting it, I can stall out right there in front of you and just be like,
Stall out.
yeah,
I love
get
that.
back to you. Because nothing's coming right
nothing's
now.
coming.
I've got nothing. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
scary. So I'll be nervous
Yeah.
and I'll be shy. Like I'll probably try to like not be noticed because I don't want that to happen to me. That might be my only thing in a group setting because it's like I don't want to embarrass myself.
Well, I think that's part of it too, right? I think that for a long time, especially prior to spirituality being a bigger part of my life, I had ways of instantly connecting with people that probably weren't healthy. Like gossip, money, physical, like things that make an instant connection to humans so that you get that barrier away. And then, so I don't, those aren't connecting things. So now, or word dump, like just, and
That's
that,
what I do.
Overspeaking. Like feeling all sick about it.
You're like, oh my God, I gave them too much.
I say, I said that.
Yes, I did.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. They're never gonna call now.
Yeah.
And all of
And it's like now there's nothing to have a conversation about.
Yeah.
They know everything about me.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, no mystery, people.
Oh, that's so funny.
Oh, so
Goodness.
any wisdom from
Anything come
my
up for
divine?
anyone?
Here we go.
I guess
He's like, I'm closer to it than
I'm
she is.
familiar
There you
with
go.
microphones.
There you go.
Well, two things is I've been working on a move. I'm moving house, which
Yes.
has required me to spend long hours alone with myself, with my thoughts.
Sorry.
Yeah, I know. And so, I talk to myself. It's like a talking meditation, and I think we should normalize talking.
I do
I
too.
do.
I do
Adam.
too.
Thank you.
Because when thoughts run rampant in your mind, just like as a stream of consciousness, it's different when that's why therapy is so good, I think, or just talking to friends is so good,
Say it out loud.
because then you're more aware of like actually what you're saying. And also I've been like doing daily videos on my YouTube channel. And
Good
so
job.
it's been a good opportunity for me to observe myself. And so one day I was sitting and I was editing a video and I started to edit out like all the like negative self-talk. And I was like, if I could just do that as a mindfulness practice, like just be aware of it in the moment,
Nice, yeah.
and take that energetically, metaphorically, like not censoring myself, because that's a different thing. I guess. But just, I don't know, just being able to observe myself every day and like, I try not to go back and watch my videos and like criticize myself, but it's an interesting practice just to say, I am doing some negative self-talk, and if I could turn that into more yeses, and
Right.
So
I love that.
I imagine it must be kind of like that because you have the chemistry together, both of you, and I don't know if you go back and like watch yourself.
The first year I did. Now I don't.
You can't do it.
I can do it.
I can.
I like watching us. I just
Yeah.
don't have time. I know
just
it's
haven't
good. I'm not going to edit it or anything. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty.
We laugh at ourselves when we do watch
Yeah,
ourselves.
We're funny. We're so funny.
We're like, we crack us up.
Adam, I would say, and you probably hit a point for a lot of people because of the negativity. I think it's really important it's kind of cool that you get to edit yourself, right? Because a lot of people walk around life doing that and they're not recording themselves. So they're not aware, maybe don't have that awareness. But if you catch yourself saying negative stuff about yourself, that's an opportunity to be like, oh, really? What's going on there? Let me talk to myself about
I'm,
this.
I'm starting to worry that you have multiple personalities.
I have two at least. It's so important to not be upset about that, but recognize it. And I'm sure that's what you're doing. Like, oh, do you really feel that way about yourself?
Opportunity for growth.
Yes, you got to recognize that, because that talk is there for something. There's something going on that's feeding that. And obviously it's not, I could say it's probably not true. So let's unravel it and get rid of it. But it's so great to be able to catch it, because I think a lot of us don't have we're not recording ourselves all day catching that stuff. So it's kind of cool that you're.
I love talking to myself.
Me too.
About myself.
Well, you have to remember that in speaking with yourself, you have an interesting speaker and a captive audience.
There you go.
And when you're self-employed, you can have a staff meeting.
Very smart. Very smart.
Deductible.
And and I think it's hearing it out loud, especially when you're doing your affirmations. Like when you're saying stuff like this, say it out loud. It is different to hold it inside and to speak it. Even when you're praying, one of the things I learned, one of the reasons why I had a hard time praying out loud was because I never prayed out loud. I always did it in my head.
Right.
And then when it was my time to pray out loud, suddenly I can't do it. And just like you said, Adam, there's something that goes from here to here. And if you don't have that smooth or have the muscle strong enough, you lose it. You can't get it out here. So the practice of saying things out loud, your affirmations to yourself, talking to yourself from there's times I walk around the house and I'll be like, hey, you've got this, knock it off, go back and engage, go do what you're supposed to be doing. I'll do that and it pumps me up, and it has me. If it was just in my head, I don't think it would be as powerful.
And that's what singing is. Singing is just talking to yourself.
Oh,
And so, but like sometimes with songs, like you can slip into autopilot because like there's a melody and a groove to lock into, but like, I don't know, if you can talk to yourself, I talk myself into my day.
Nice.
Tell myself what kind of day I want to have and try to program it like a intention.
Yes, absolutely.
I had nerves the other day about something. I can't remember what it was now, but I do remember saying out loud, I said, well, I just can't wait to see how God works this out. And that's what I yelled it out. I said, so that's kind of yelling a prayer out loud.
There you go.
That's kind of like what
So that's your assignment this week, Sofa Sundays crew.
An assignment.
The assignment this week is to pray out loud.
I can't wait to see how God works this out. How about that?
There
Take
you
that.
go. Take that.
Take that.
Right?
And
I'm
say it
saying.
with a demand,
And that's why I do drive-by blessings. That's why I do Marco Polo, because not only, and like we were talking about YouTube, not only am I talking out loud, but I'm looking at me.
Yes.
And there's something very therapeutic for me to know that, right? Even though I might be talking to you, like knowing that you're the one that's going to see it, when it's happening, I'm talking to me. And I solve a lot of things that way for myself. Yeah.
Can you tell me what drive-by blessing?
So Drive-By Blessings is a thing on Facebook of mine. You find G Sovereign's Drive-By Blessings.
On Instagram now too, or no?
No, I don't have it connected. It's just on Facebook. It used to be on Marco Polo.
You drive by people's house and like give them
And
flowers
blessings,
or, like,
No,
throw money at them.
it's really me. It's really me in my car, and then I
And
throw
they're
out
really good. They're really
throw
good.
out little
It's
blessings.
a quick little pump you up on your day.
2 minutes or less. Yeah. So
I love that.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah. If you're not
I actually started it in 2020 on Marco Polo, and then brought it over to Facebook for a larger audience. Yeah.
Yeah, and Facebook likes it.
Yes, they do.
Facebook is
So-
like, ooh, if you keep doing stuff like
Like
this, we're
this?
gonna reward you.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
gonna
There's
reward you.
no
Like her.
There's no financial reward yet, but hey,
It's coming.
it's coming. All right, we've talked long enough.
I know. I want you to go back to that thing you read, and I want us to really almost meditatively embody that for our closing prayer. So when you were saying that, I was like, man, we need more time on that. We need to be repeating that within ourselves. Do you
All
remember
right.
where it was?
Yes. Oh, I know where it is. Yes.
Because I see you don't have it marked.
No, I
You
don't.
just did it
But
naturally.
I just did it naturally on what it was.
Okay.
Okay. So let's breathe this in. The law of spirit establishes harmony and right adjustment of all personal, family, and business affairs or conditions in my life. I am supplied with every good thing. I am happy, radiant, and complete. the source of all life, manifests as peace, harmony, and wholeness in my experience. Everything that I do, say, or think is governed by pure intelligence and inspired by divine wisdom. I am guided into right action. I am surrounded with friendship, love, and beauty. Enthusiastic joy, vitality, and inspiration are in everything that I do.
And so it is.
And so it is.
So it is.
So it is.
Can you take a snapshot of that and let's post that on
I will, yeah.
Facebook? Because that's something I would like to actually say to myself a few times.
Yeah.
I
And-
really, really like that.
Yeah,
And now
that's-
it's recorded, so maybe I'll take this clip of that and post it too, so you can just listen to her saying it again.
There we go.
That was really good. I really like that.
I love that.
Makes me feel a little misty for some reason. I like that. The friendship part. When
Yes.
I get to that, I'm like,
Aw,
I like it. a
there we
lot.
go.
I know.
How can we support you?
Thanks for asking. I love that. You know, we threw that in when we did our little play at
Oh.
Anson. Yeah, I said, you know how they can support us.
Oh wait, Amy's gonna do a mugshot real quick.
Oh,
Do a
okay.
mugshot.
Mugshot?
Yeah.
Do I have the, okay.
Is
You
that
have the
cute?
girls, I have the.
Beautiful. Cheers.
So, how you can support us is, well, right now, right here, like and subscribe.
Please hurry up.
Please,
Do
right
it.
now,
We
right
wanna
now.
see it.
We'll wait.
We'll wait for you.
Oh, there we go. It's happening.
Bravo,
Right on.
bravo,
Thank you.
bravo. Thank you.
So with that, you can also share us with your friends. You can show up in person because we're a fun group to be around. And you can go to beginwithinministries.com and become a spiritual church club partner. And what is that, you say? Well,
It's a way to support this community and support the work that we're doing here. So if it's benefited you, if you feel like it's supporting you creating a life you love, we'd love your support also. So you can become a church club partner by donating $45 a month for an individual or $75 a month for a partnership or a family. And you can do that on our website at beginwithinministries.com, just down below.
there
You
you
can also
go.
just do a one-time donation as well, whatever works for you. We appreciate
Absolutely.
any support that we get for our ministry.
Yes, we do. What do we have going on?
Well, right after this service, we have our yoga nidra. I always want to say nitra, but it's nidra with Amy. We're so excited to have Amy doing that for us today. And then we have our minister's lunch today. So we're super excited to spend some time with everyone. So you still have time to get here. So hurry up. If you're not already here, I'm excited for how many people are
Yes,
here
I love
to do
that.
this with us. And then coming up in March, we have our very first spring concert.
Oh my goodness.
I know. I'm
So excited.
We have an amazing lineup, such as, Adam Smith is in there.
Woo-hoo!
He will be here. Marcy LaRouche. We have
Baruch.
Sorry, Marcy. Don't be mad at me. Who else? We have
Cerise
Patron and Sisters in Spirit. Am I missing anybody? Who else? And Jennifer Sheets.
And Jennifer Sheets.
Oh.
Yes. Yay. Sisters in Spirit. I'm so glad you guys are getting together.
back together.
I love it.
Getting the band back together.
And for your comedic entertainment, I'll be there.
So
So we have
March
the
29th.
best MC. I'm telling you, it's going to be a good night. We're gonna have
March
some fun.
29th, we're still trying to
We'll get the
solidify
location
the
up this week.
location.
Yeah, so be
Yes.
watching for the information about that this week. We'll start promoting it and letting you get your tickets this week. But if you're a spiritual church club partner, you will not be paying for anything. You just
Nope,
get to
we'll
show up.
just show
because
up.
This is one of our church events. And you get
Exactly.
those with your partnership. So
Exactly. So I think that's it.
I think that's it. Oh, our time is done.
Our time is
I'm
done.
sorry.
So
We're gonna
I hope
get
you're driving here now.
Hurry
We'll
up.
see you soon. If not, we'll see you next week.
All right.
Bye.
Yay.
Yay.
Thanks for watching. Tune in again next week at 11:11 a.m. Pacific Time, or Monday evening at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. In partnership with New Thought Media Network.